Namaste, hello, and welcome to Agile Exploration Hub. I'm your host Nagesh Deshpande, and this is another episode of Talks with Deshpande. First of all, Ganpati Bappa Moria. So, Festival of Ganesha has begun in India. Everyone is so excited right now, and we are bringing another episode of Talks with Deshpande. Today, we have very interesting guest. I will start his introduction with a saying that he is a proud, very proud Kannadiga. His name is Manjunath MS Rao. He is a system engineer who transitioned into a human engineering field. Uh, is a career transformation coach, mentor, founder of a career transformative lab community. So his experience span over 20 years in the industry now. He's a passionate agilist. He applied lean agile principles, concept to fuel the transformative journey in career, businesses, leadership, as well as personal growth. So what I mean by personal growth, that I have seen Manjunath, getting involved with individuals, organizations, as well as community, where he goes, interact with individuals, teams, and help them to identify their, you know, their motivation, their targets, and also he helps to achieve them. On top of that, his mission is to inspire 1 lakh early or mid-career professional to overcome their imposter syndrome. Imposter syndrome is a very interesting topic that we would like to discuss, but in this episode, we are not going to discuss on that. We'll discuss it sometime later. Then building agility, resilience, embrace meaningful work and abundant life, leveraging power of psychology. And today we have picked up equally similar uh, and very interesting topic for discussion: career agility, leveraging power of psychology and AI. So let's welcome Manjunath MS Rao.
Thank you. Thank you, Nagesh.
Namaste, sir.
Namaste, and thank you so much for the invite.
How are you doing?
Awesome. Thank you so much. And kudos to you for inspiring millions of people through your podcast.
Thank you, sir.
More power to you.
How is the weekend going, sir?
Awesome. So it's a Ganpati festival. So a lot of celebrations happening here in Bangalore. Pretty excited. Pretty well.
Yeah.
Thank you. How is it in
So
Pune?
Pune
I,
is always buzzing, always. Like, the
yeah.
celebration starts, the whole practice starts a month ago, and
Mm,
then the Ganesha pendals and statues are, Ganesha adults are available in the market. You go through, and then shoppings and
yeah.
market is buzzing everyone. It's a like,
Yeah.
lifetime thing.
I'm
So
missing that fun. We
yeah,
used
yeah,
to
yeah.
roam around in Pune and
Yeah, yeah,
late
yeah.
night, 2 a.m., 3 a.m.
Yeah, that's the Pune. That's what you can do in Pune.
Absolutely.
So even if you are roaming at 1 o'clock to not 2 o'clock in the night, you will get food. You will see happy and fresh faces at that hours.
Yeah.
So yeah, great.
So,
So let's start our discussion today, Manjunath, and then you know we met few times so far, and then I know your passion about AI. So I've attended one of your talks on AI also, and the conference that you host, APJ conference, where also I saw a lot of AI buzz was going on. But I would equally interesting to understand, your take on, uh, you know, leveraging power of psychology. So what motivated you to read on this topic and start using first of all in your personal life as well as helping others?
sure. Thanks, Nagesh, for that interesting question. In fact, I would say thanks to a lot of these communities, which has helped me to be where I am today. As you rightly mentioned, APGI is one, and I'm also part of a couple of communities. Like, for example, there's a community called Brain Accelerator community where one of my mentor, Dr. Manjunath, he's helping millions of people to, read fast, grasp concepts, and apply those in your career and personal life, and grow 10x kind of a thing, right? So these communities have given me a lot of insight in my journey from being a system engineer to human engineer, as you were talking about in the introduction. So one of in such community event, a very well-known agile coach by name. So he talked about the concept of agile coaches are nothing but psychologists, right? So
Okay.
that kind of topic made me think, isn't it? Because on a day-to-day basis, when we were doing agile coaching or transformation topics, we deal with people, we inspire them towards the growth mindset and help them to overcome some of those mindset barriers and stuff like that. And that coach was Chandan Lal Patri. Many of you may be familiar with him.
Yes, yes,
And
yes.
that talk made me to realize, yes, what exactly we do is nothing but a lot of psychological elements. And in a way, when you are in a transformation agent or a catalyst or a change agent, you call it as an agile coach or a scrum master or whatever role it is. It is to do with people and their mindset. And that kind of sparked me, it triggered me to explore more about psychology. That led me to do my master's as we speak. I'm just completing my master's in psychology. And then it gave me a lot of insights from the world of psychology. And day in day out, by the way, we use many of these concepts in our day-to-day life and even in careers and business. Knowingly, unknowingly, we apply it. What if we are able to get those essence of those concepts, know it a little bit, and then practice it? It makes a huge difference. So that made me to learn it from a lot of masters and my mentors. As I said, like it could be NLP, it could be hypnosis, it could be regression therapy. It is to do with goal setting and visualization and how do you build those resilience and growth mindset. So these aspects of positive psychology, what you call it, really kind of made me a huge impact in my personal journey. And then now I'm using it, leveraging the power of. And in psychology, there is a term we call it as appreciation inquiry, and I call it
Okay.
as power of AI. So what it means is we have all the immense potential, just that we need to unlock it and make use of it in our profession and personal life.
That's
So,
so true.
so that has become now by buzzline. Let's use AI and AI. AI is appreciation inquiry from positive psychology, and of course, AI as a technology, which we all of us know how it is tremendously impacting our
Yeah,
life
absolutely.
and careers and stuff like that.
Yeah. So, uh, very interesting journey. Very, very interesting. The reading about psychology and then doing masters in it and then implementing into day-to-day life as well as career. And this is also a new term that I heard today, AI and AI. Good one. So now, see, our largely our experience span over 20 years. And then I still remember those days, when early days when things used to move, at a I will not say very slow, but I used to be a constant pace. It was not very fast, but now it's very fast. Everyone wants to do a lot of things. So how it will help me in this fast paced world to use this power of psychology and AI to, stabilize things or to enhance my work?
Super. Well, what also made me realize during COVID days, we all went through is in the very fast-paced world when there are so many changes are happening, the biggest impact one can feel is inside ourselves, which is what we call the mind dynamics, right?
Right.
We go through day in day out because to catch up with the world in terms of learning, technology, our day-to-day struggles, we stress too much ourselves in terms of body, mind, and soul, and then we get into those anxiety, stress, and depressions and whatnot. And it's pretty natural, because of so much of changes which is happening. So if we don't understand some of these basic essence of positive psychology, right? So it will put us into a great problems, right?
Hmm.
And as you rightly talked about, one of them is this imposter syndrome. If I if I don't take time for myself, take a step back and relax and look at what is my journey is going on,
Hmm.
we get into those typical states where just to catch up, just to be in that race, we lose those the mental calmness and health and all those stuff, which will not help us in the long run. So
Hmm.
it becomes very, very essential for us to take a step back. And of course, there are a lot of techniques are available like mindfulness, and I don't have to tell, and many of you are quite familiar with it. But my key message is having that understanding, awareness, and practicing it. right?
Mm.
Along with, of course, leveraging the power of technology like AI. Now, AI is really helping us to probably do the same stuff in lesser the time than what we were doing it, right? So, a combination of these things is what I see is the way forward. Otherwise, we'll get into unknown situations, and then that doesn't help us. So,
Great.
does it make sense? What's your view on that?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So what I take away for me is smaller, not a bigger takeaway. Smaller takeaway is like whatever happening or happened, retrospect about it, introspect about it, have a mindfulness. Use these mindfulness techniques to not just understand what happened, but also where to take it ahead.
Absolutely.
Right?
Uh,
I'm giving very high level view. It's depend on the individual how they are, practice it, because um, understanding of mindfulness, my understanding of mindfulness may be different than someone else. So,
Absolutely.
so that's how I will, take it out. And uh, one more thing, I want to understand that what role this AI, plays in the personal and professional development. We know I'm using AI for my personal work, sometimes professional work, but to our audience, how it can change your life or how can change your profession.
Superb. Since I'm into this career coaching and mentoring, so a lot of when I meet a lot of my coaches or mentees who come to this support, right? Many of them, like, they are stuck in their journey in terms of lack of clarity, lack of direction. Where should they head?
Hmm.
Because I mean, this world offers so many opportunities now. If you look at from a career world, right? There are close to 200 different career paths are available, which
Absolutely.
equates to like maybe some thousands of different roles and positions are available. Forget about the overall big spectrum, but even if you take an IT itself, right? Within an IT, there are. Other day I was just trying to create yeah, an ecosystem for my coaches to understand and reflect. There are close to 100 different possible roles within an IT space, right? So when these things happen, with our awareness, with our knowledge and know-how, sometimes it becomes very difficult to make those judgments, and this is where AI can definitely will help. Since I'm part of this psychology world, and now we are trying to leverage a lot of this AI into that space. So now there are multi-dimensional assessments are available, so where we use the power of psychology, psychometrics, your personality assessment. It could be your emotional intelligence assessment. It could be your knowing some of your skills and competencies, your what is your intrinsic motivation, what is your really passion kind of thing. So sometimes this word passion is very loosely used. We say that I'm passionate, but the moment you go a little bit deeper, we understand a great insight is possible in terms of knowing your strengths, knowing your thing. While all these things are available in the conventional or tradition way in terms of some tests or reading materials, some it becomes very difficult for us to look at these things in a holistic way,
Hmm.
and that is where AI is really really helping. Where for example, I am associated with one of an organization where they have developed an AI data analytics based platform, which does something called as multidimensional assessment, which, if I want to call it as a simply as your career ikigai,
Hmm. Hmm.
what is your sweet spot in terms of your skills, competencies, values, mindset, motivation. So using this AI powered tool, you will be able to arrive at certain, best possible paths for you. In a
Hmm.
short term, we may be doing certain role, certain job, certain, path, but it helps us to look at from a medium to long term perspective. What is my career horizon look like? So that is where I see AI can definitely help in terms of giving that clarity, giving a lot of insights in terms of who I am, what I am, which anyway we know it individually, but these tools and techniques will amplify that understanding. It will
Right.
help us to make our decisions better. And right from there to your resume building, to personal branding, to positioning yourself into preparation, to authority building, we can use the power of AI from multifolded way, and that's where I see a great combination of leveraging the psychology and AI tools together. to build our careers as well as I mean, have a great growth in our personal life.
Great. Okay. Nice, nice, very nice. So let's say if I have to make a career decision today, you know, can
Hmm.
you give me you know, some overview
Yeah.
that, how do I combine AI and psychology to take my career decision?
So sure. Well, if you look at the world of careers, typically what trend we see is something called as outside in approach. That means, this particular job profile or this particular position, this particular say IT. Within IT, there are certain, say now AI is a buzz. Now everybody wants to get into AI. They want to learn and just get into that path, which is okay because we are all driven by market, we are all driven by the technology changes. But from a world of psychology, what it says is, so unless you find out your sweet spot, which is nothing but your meaningful work, right,
Meaningful
you
work.
will not be able to enjoy a meaningful life. What does it mean is, so my master's research project was on this, based on Dr. Snyder research, which is to really enjoy your life, you need to have a meaningful career or a meaningful, something what you really want to do it. So, um, so if I have to take a step back, so usually we are all driven, as I said, from an outside world. Okay, this path is good, this salary is nice, this position is good. So those things won't stick to us for a longer term, based on my experience and what I have also seen after talking to hundreds of people as part of my career coaching, and also talking to thousands of leaders in my conversation, right? So then what is the answer? So the answer relies in us, which is what I call it as, or what my some of my mentors call it as, inside out approach.
Right.
Look at you. What is your motivation in terms of values, in terms of motivations, in terms of strengths? And invariably, we all of us have something called as a certain characteristics or a trait. And in psychology world, what we call it as a personality, right? The way we look at the things, the way we interact with others, the way we make decisions, the way we work, plan and work. Some of us are very planned, meticulous, disciplined.
Right.
Some of us are very flexible, adaptability kind of a thing, right?
Yeah.
So each type of personality is meant to be doing certain type of work, right? For example, teaching is it requires a certain type of characteristics and traits and mindset. A sales and marketing requires its own set of thing. And many a times we don't understand what is that particular trait or a characteristics in me unless you are a very, have a good mindfulness, you have good mentors and coaches or people around you gives you those real feedback to build that awareness in you.
Right. And
So
accepting those feedback also.
absolutely,
Yes.
absolutely.
Even if Manjunath giving me feedback and I'm not accepting it, I won't be able to understand what I'm doing. Right. Yeah.
Very well
Yeah.
said. So these are the places where I have seen this power of psychology and AI will help. And to answer to your question is where if you are able to leverage many of these tools and techniques from psychology world with the help of AI, it will help you to do in Agile what we call as a great retrospection, right? In the
Yes.
inside, right? So who I am, what am I really good at, what are my strengths, what are my characters, or what are my strengths, what are my weakness, and in a short term, how do we position myself, medium term and long term. So these are the places where it's going to be a multiple round of conversation for sure. It doesn't happen overnight or in a one conversation. But I have seen many of my in my conversation with some of the people, right? So they start building this inside out approach awareness, and then the next step is, okay, then where do I invest, which course should I do, which program should I go to, which upskilling should I do, because skills and competencies is only one part of the story, right? What we talked about, the other elements also play an equal role in the if you look at the iceberg, typical iceberg, right?
Yes.
Our motivations, our inherent energy and passion and all those stuff also have to be fulfilled. Otherwise, just with the skills and competencies, we can survive for a maybe short term 3 4 5 years, and after that you will start feeling that, oh my god, I'm not growing, I'm stuck,
Yes.
and feeling that sense of, okay, what am I doing?
Stagnancy is there. Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
so those.
Yeah. So yeah, that's another my take on this one is like, uh, passion something, it should take you in the long term. you know
Absolutely.
Short burst will not help. Today I'm feeling motivated. Oh, I want to become a musician. I'll buy something. I'll play for 2 3 days, maybe 2 3 months,
Yeah,
and then okay, forget it. No, that's not passion.
very well said.
That's not a passion.
Yeah,
Passion is something, you bring it, you first learn about it, read about it, take help from others, understand whether I am capable of learning it, whether I am capable, I am really
very good.
enjoying it.
Yeah,
First of all, am I enjoying listening it? First, second
absolutely.
thing, whether I'll be able to adopt it.
Yeah,
All these things are essentially important.
very
Then
well.
it will take you to long term. Otherwise, you will just end up doing something for 3 to 6 months maximum. I'm
Correct.
talking. I've seen people losing interest in just within 1 week.
Very well said. And in positive psychology world, we call it as a power of habit building.
Wow, power of
It
it.
should become your DNA. It should be part of you. Even in the midnight, if somebody wakes you up and, do you want to do it? So I should
Yes,
be, yes, I like it. Let me do it, kind of a
let
thing.
me do it.
So
Yes, yes, absolutely. Yes, great. So moving on, can AI truly understand human emotions? I directly jump onto a different topic, but
I would say it as, uh, I don't know whether AI can do it, but at least reading some of those insights from reports generated by AI, we'll be able to, get into that mode. Of course, I'm not an AI expert, to comment and talk about it. There are a lot of discussions are happening around that. But how I use AI in terms of understanding emotions or knowing some of this intrinsic motivation is, as I said, there are certain interventions are available from an AI world or a tools perspective, psychology and AI tools. The moment someone answers those questions or they go through the psychometric test, when the report is out, as a coach or as a somebody who can understand how to read those reports, the moment I start having conversation with the people, say, hey, this is what tool is saying. Is that you? Is this resonate with who you are, what you are, and is it something the way you carry yourself in certain situations? Then I have met some of the people who are like, oh wow, you are reading it like a kundli or a jatak. They say, right, you're able to predict how I do it. I said, there is no big deal about it. It's like a science, just that we need to understand a more side of it. So many of these AI powered tools and techniques will definitely help us to have those awareness, but we need definitely an help of a coach or a mentor or somebody who
human.
can use
Mhm.
those results or outcome to have those emotional level conversations for sure.
Well said. Very well said. Human is required.
Absolutely,
Even if you build very strong machine or something, it will remain a machine.
absolutely.
Sometimes. So
It'll definitely
human.
help us in terms of
Yeah,
improving
absolutely.
accuracy. Yeah, in terms of giving a great insight, which probably would have not been possible without the
Well,
technology's,
yeah,
interventions. But yeah, that human
yeah.
intervention definitely is required.
Eh, So the machine will do the tedious work or repetitive things very efficiently than a human, but for understand a human or psychology or human psychology, you need a human.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yes, yes, great. And then how does career agility? Now I'm bringing another topic, career agility. Differs when incorporating AI tools.
Yeah. So, if I reflect my own career journey of, around 20 years, right? It has been a roller coaster in terms of starting as an engineer and then trying to figure it out, where do I fit in, and then moving into more project management, quality management, and lean agile coaching space, and then finding my own true passion towards training, coaching, mentoring, and then what the journey has been. Uh, So if I reflect back, this journey has been like a typical what we call an agile journey or an agility, where you start with something with the available info or a known information, then inspect and adapt. Keep running into smaller iterations and learn from it, and incorporate those feedback, strengthen from those retro, and then from there you move on, kind of a thing. So if I reflect that journey, as well as if I look at some of my mentors and coaches and my team, I mean, a lot of people whom I do this career coaching, it's been a phenomenal journey. This journey has really made us what we are today. right? And that's why we call it as a career agility. It is not one role, one position you join and you retire. That's those days are gone, right?
Gone. Yes.
And we may end up playing multiple roles, multiple organizations, multiple departments, lot of new challenges. That makes us really what we call iterative learning and taking towards. That's the element of what I typically call as an agile career agility. And in this journey, when I started connecting to what we do in agile way of working or in agility space, right? Where we start with a vision or a product, what problem we are trying to solve. Then from there, you identify all who are the users, market fit, and then requirements and development in an iterative way, and they deliver and make customer happy. If I apply the same concept to a career, right? We are a product, or I as a person I am a product because I will be hired by some company to add some value or deliver certain things. So have we applied this same concept? What time I as a product? And this is goes back to in the previous question what we were talking about. What are my strengths? What are my positions? What are my key skills and competencies? What is my mindset? So knowing that I am a product, and what is my vision? What is my goal? And many a times when I ask this question, what I mean, this is a typical HR question they ask, right? What do you want to be in 5 years and 10 years? But for sake of interview, we tell something, oh, I want to be this. But deep in my heart or deep in those people heart, they'll be saying, "Arey, let's answer this question somehow, get a job, and then we'll figure it
Yeah,
out."
yeah, yeah.
But there's a very powerful question we should ask, what is my career journey, short term, medium term, long term? Because that will help me to position myself, right? If I have product position in an agile world has to be positioned well, I need to position what skills and competence I need to build. How do I build some of those skills and mindset required, personal branding, all those elements, so that on a long term basis, I will be able to really be a successful product. If I have to call it, like I enjoying that, whatever it could be, your position you're aspiring for, a meaningful work you're aspiring for, or impacting some millions of people through your work as a coach, mentor, whatever it could be. Having that clarity and running it in an iterative way is very, very essential. And this is where connecting those agility concepts could be a backlog concept, or it can be running iterations, it can be inspect and adapt sessions, having somebody to share and understanding.
Hmm.
So applying those concepts to our career will really, really help us to take it to a long journey. And this is what I call it as a career agility. And we can plug in a lot of elements from psychology and AI in this process to ease up as well as simplify and build very good habits, as you rightly said, which are sustainable and help me to grow on a long-term basis and play a 10x game.
Exactly. Yeah. And what are some of the challenges that you face in this entire exercise?
One element, I mean, there are a couple of things. One is many a times we don't take any decisions because we, back in our heart or back in inside us, there's an element of confusion. There's an element of
Yes.
chaos. There's an element of lack of clarity, right?
And
So
even fear of failure is also there, no?
absolutely. And that's
Huh.
what typically if you want to broadly connect them in the umbrella of what we call as imposter syndrome, which is I doubt myself.
Right.
Though I am capable, I would have done enough things right from my childhood till now. I start doubting my own capabilities, my own skills and competencies. What will people think? What will people say? What will my team say? What will my boss say? So all
Hmm.
those elements of negativity is not coming from outside, but it's coming from my own inside, right? So dealing with that is the first step I have seen the biggest challenge for all of us, because the new tools can be learned, skills can be learned, and we can do a lot many things provided I win myself, my own that inner monkey mind, what we call about, right? That has been a biggest challenge. And the second one, what I've seen is there's a big trend which is happening, which is nothing wrong. I mean, I know it's personal choice. Is just jump into the bandwagon. When there is a flow, let us get in and do it, which is fair from a short term perspective, but it
Right.
will not help us on a long run. And that is where we may have to take a little step back and look at the journey a little bit more, from a long term, long game perspective. That's second challenge which I have seen in this entire journey. The third one is in a rush to become a master or a mastery, right? in a year or two, I want to be the master of that subject and say I am the expert in that. That doesn't happen. If you look at any successful people or any experts in the industry, they have spent their own sweet time and their own journey, learning experience, get it as an experience and then calling it as a knowledge. Why I'm saying it is because many a times in this AI world, if I have to give an example, the moment we talk about AI, right? Everybody wants to build their own LLM. Everybody wants to build their own AI tool. I'm saying it's okay. I mean, first understand. In my case, for example, I am a career coach and business coaching area. I am using AI tools. What is required for my role, right? First, be an user. I really like the way you said. First, you be a follower before you want to be a leader, right? So now let me use some of these AI tools as an end user to understand what it is first, and even before I go and build something about it. Because even to build a product or even to build something awesome, right? First, I need to know or I need to understand the market. I need to understand the problem. So this is something I've been even as part of my coaching telling many people, okay, first you be an user, understand these AI tools for your career journey, your personal journey, and then of course you'll be able to build new set of products and solutions which will cater to. I think these are some of the insights I would say, Nagesh, based on some of my journey.
Perfect. Yeah, I read a quote today. I would like to mention it when you said that everyone wants to become master in short time. So this quote says that water, you know,
Hmm?
doesn't go through the stone by because of its power. It
Yeah,
goes through the water because of persistence.
yeah,
So you need to be persistent. No, you
absolutely,
don't need to have a power to become master at something or to become a skillful at something.
absolutely,
You need to have a persistence. So practice every day, small bit.
absolutely.
Even if you. So I always people also come to me for career advice and coaching. I mentor them, and I simple the best or the easiest thing that I recommend them to read one page of any book every day.
Yeah,
Any book. It need not to be a life uh, coach book or maybe any book. Take maybe you like to read fiction, you take it a fiction, read one page. Tomorrow you are not bored of fiction, you take something mathematics, you take science. you know so it's up to you. So this is how you improve, and not just read about it, understand the what is in it, what the author is trying to say, what the situation that author has written into that, why the situation occur, what is the outcome of the situation, and then practice into your own life.
absolutely. It's
So
a habit building, as you rightly
habit
said.
building. So
Yeah.
habit. So
And
once you read one page a day, then you will finish a book at some point of time.
super, very well said. In fact,
Yeah.
thanks to one of my mentors. So he made us to build this powerful habit of what we call 5 a.m. club, right? Get early morning and
Yes, 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 yes.
do something which will help for your growth. So from the last, I think it's been 5 months. So I and we have a community. We all
Right.
wake up around 5 o'clock. We get together at 5:30 to 6:30. Have our own goals and ambitions. We practice some of those things and we learn and share every day together from 5:30 to 6:30. And I'm seeing those 4 months has been a tremendous transformation journey. Right. So it's a simple one habit, as you rightly said. It can be reading one page a book, or it can be waking up early. It can be any of those one powerful or two powerful habits. If you are able to build it, and that's it's again a part of positive psychology, is where you'll be able to take us in a long run.
Great. So coming on to our last question of the day, you know, what are the practical tips you want to share or you can share for leveraging AI and psychology for career planning?
Sure. As I said, there are the first step could be I take this entire career agility journey or a career transformation journey in 6 steps. One is having a first self-awareness, who I am,
Hmm.
what I am, my strengths and my skills and competencies and mindset and all those stuff. There are multiple psychology tools are available which are powered by AI capabilities, right? Use them to know who you are, get those super duper insights. And this you can also get it by 360-degree feedback, or talking to your mentors and coaches, your colleagues, and all those stuff, but leverage that ecosystem,
Yes. Yes.
right? Having that awareness is the first thing. The second step, and as I said, in this process, we can leverage both elements of psychology and AI tools, just to name a few. And the second step is having that absolute clarity. What is that I want to be in the short term, medium term, and long term basis. Because once this awareness is clear, we will be able to do something called as a goal setting or a career planning process, right? Here again, there are multiple psychology tools are available in terms of powerful goal setting, visualization, as well as make it a powerful habit so that you'll be able to achieve your goal. Because if you look at all powerful, successful people, they have certain habits built into them, and that is what makes them what they are today. All right. So tools like smart goal setting or
Hmm.
visualization, Silva method, many of them are available. And from a AI perspective, to do a lot of these research in terms of what career path, what suits to you from a long term perspective, there are many AI tools which are available, which we can definitely plug into. The third one is, once you know yourself, once you have a clear clarity in terms of what you want to be, the third step is actually start acting in your skill development, right?
Right.
It can be a learning a technology skill, a leadership skill, a soft skill, or whatever the gap could be based on these, first two steps. And this is again leveraging the power of AI tools nowadays. You have those customized tools which will help you to fill these skills gap, right? By, can be practice making, it can be hands-on kind of a thing, right? And from a psychology perspective, this is skill building is a long-term game, and it doesn't happen overnight. So you need to be consistent, persistent, and have a motivation, have a community of action takers, be with them. Because sometimes just being with a community, right? So we take actions. Like, I know you have been part of many communities. I've been part of this. Just by being with those action takers, we also get inspired to take actions and move on.
Right.
So that is again, the third step, I would say. The once these three steps are over, the fourth step I would call it as positioning myself in my career. So once the goal is clear, I start building my skills and competencies. I need to position myself in the right perspective. It can be your LinkedIn branding, YouTube, or your articles, or it could be your own domain, your own industry. How do you position yourself, right? That, and this is where again there are multiple tools from an AI world we can leverage it. It could be, for example, taking the help from AI for drafting or crafting some of your initial versions of articles, right? Nothing
Right.
wrong with it. There are many conversations are going on, or people are trying to copy paste and put it. It's not about that. It's maybe, as a starting point, you can leverage those AI tools or ChatGPT, whatever it is, and use your experience, use your expertise, use your examples into that content, and just simplify and try to position yourself in the right spectrum, right? Those are the things. And again, when it comes to, if you are looking for a career progression, it can be a salary hike or a promotion, or getting into a new role, a new company. Right from your LinkedIn branding, resume preparation, interview preparation, there are AI tools which are available to screen through it, give you a lot of feedback, give
Right.
you a lot of insights in terms of, how do you position based on these elements. In fact, I make some of my career coaches build their own AI or model, which is, by providing many of these insights, what are your strengths and your key skills and competencies, your industry background, and all those stuff. If you are able to use that data, the AI can tell you which are the best industries, which are the best companies, which are the best positions you should target for. And of course, leverage, it could be your Google alerts, it can be some of those job alerts mechanism, LinkedIn alerts mechanism. You are using AI tools to position and push yourself into those spectrum. And of course, right from interviews and all the stuff you can use. And power of psychology is there, as I said, building those powerful habits, learning, continuous learning habits. With the power of communities, it can be self-learning and disciplines kind of a thing. The last step is, of course, once you are able to go through all these things, celebrate, win, and continue to improve. So these are the logical steps I see. And In each step, you have plenty of the AI tools are available and psychology tools and techniques are available to blend it and make this journey more easier and more, mm, fruitful.
Those are not small tips. Those are comprehensive tips, Manjunath. Awesome. So many. So to my audience, if you follow the tips Manjunath gave, believe me, you will push up to a next level yourself. You will push yourself to next level. Manjunath, it was awesome discussion. Amazing. So much to discuss. I know we have limited time. We can have second episode sometime later, but amazing discussion. Thanks a lot for coming on Agile Exploration Hub. We know uh, we have talked very less on Agile this time, but we talk more about AI and psychology, which is equally necessary in career building. So those Agile professional who wants to build their career, you know, can use those tips given by Manjunath and build your career or try to identify whether you are on right track, are you adopting right habits or not. Manjunath, once again, thanks a lot for being such a great speaker today and have a nice day. Thank you once
Thank
again.
you. Thank you, Nagesh, for this opportunity. And, I know you're doing a great job. Please continue to inspire thousands of people.
Thanks. Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you all. Take care.